graffiti or writing, which is what we called it. We never called it graffiti, we called it writing because we were writing our names, we were writing on the walls. Take a look at the people around you when you're walking down the street and see how many people are looking up and how many people are looking down. There's a lot more people looking down than people looking up. But when you look up, you discover things that are rather interesting. From Maison Lefebvre. It's a store that's been there since the 1930s. I went there for the first time in '85 to buy my art supplies when I had to paint a mural at the Murano. And my first confrontation or my first introduction to European spray paint. You know, when you're a graffiti artist from New York, you're used to the brand names that you're used to. So the first thing you think is, okay, what do they have? And I saw this paint from Germany, and I bought every can that he had in stock. I emptied the store. My first European art dealer was from Brussels. So when I came to Europe for the first time, it was Brussels that I came to. So I've always had this sort of nostalgia whenever I came to Europe because my trips were always from New York to Brussels. So a transformation will come about very soon. Stay tuned. I'll paint in my typical way, which is a guideline in one color and then systematically covering it over. When I was 13, my universe was my block, my neighborhood where I grew up. I wasn't old enough to leave and go off on my own without a specific reason. So I saw graffiti already since I was 8, maybe 6, 7 years old, but I just didn't pay attention to it. It's, you know, you see some writing on the wall. What sparked the fire inside of me was one morning waking up and looking out of my window and seeing on the wall a two-dimensional piece appear. It was in white with sky blue stars in it. And that for me jumped out because everything else was just letters. So in 1976, I looked out. I can't remember if it was the springtime or the summer, but it was warm outside. And the girl that lived in my building was writing her name, Gloria, on the wall, and Mama. And I was like, hey, what are you doing? She's like, fuck you. It's like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. So I took the first little marker that I had, a little highliner, and started writing in the hallways. So I'm always working one color at a time, trying to create this balance, and at the same time, a confrontation. My style, it has evolved over the past 30 years. I think I've become a lot more clean, a lot less violent with the way that I apply paint. The early paintings were really explosions, you know, freedom, expression, you know, coming out the gate. The horse has been waiting to run this race. You open the gate, it's like, boom, okay, let's go. Now I'm like, okay, I know this track.
Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast.
By 79, that's when I got caught. Only got caught once. And my fine was $10. Okay, so imagine you get caught riding on the subway, it's $10. If you get caught today, it's a whole different story. You're in jail. You have maybe 100,000 euros to pay, something like that. What inspires me is the nature. What inspires me is sound. You know, just walking on the street and you stop at a street light and you're waiting for the light to cross the street. And you're hearing down the block a conversation, somebody's talking in Spanish or something. And somebody here is walking up, they're talking in Flemish, somebody else is talking in French. And then the mixture of the sounds going by and some screams and stuff like that. And these type of things, the audio becomes visual for me.